They earn the same. They work the same hours. They have the same education, the same city, the same rent. So why is one building wealth and the other is living paycheck to paycheck? It's not luck. It's not inheritance. It's not even about how much money you make. It's about how you think. Welcome back. I'm Dollar Dave, and today we're opening the vault, not the money vault. The vault. We're looking inside the heads of people who build wealth and comparing them to people who struggle. Same game, different rules. This is not about blaming anyone. Being broke is not a moral failure, but staying broke without understanding why. That's a tragedy. Let's fix it. 4 mental shift. 4 ways the rich think differently. By the end of this video, you will never see money the same way again. Let's begin. Shift number 1, assets vs liabilities. Walk into a dealership. 2 people buy the same car. Same color. Same monthly payment. One drives home feeling rich. The other drives home feeling poor. Why? Because one just bought a status symbol and the other just bought a hole in the ground to pour money into. This is the first difference. Poor mindset. What can I afford? Rich mindset. What will this do to my money? A poor person looks at a car and sees freedom. A rich person looks at a car and sees depreciation, insurance, maintenance, interest. A $40,000 car is not $40,000. It's $40,000 plus $8,000 in interest, plus $6,000 in gas, $4,000 in insurance, plus $3,000 in repairs. Over 5 years, that $40,000 car costs $60,000. And at the end of 5 years, it's worth $15,000. You lost $45,000. For what? To look cool at a red light? This is not about cars. This is about assets versus liabilities. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. That's it. That's the whole definition. A rental property that makes you $200 a month. Asset. A second car that sits in the driveway. Liability. A stock that pays dividends. Asset. A boat you use twice a year. Liability. A degree that doubles your salary. Asset. A degree in 17th century French poetry while you drive Uber? Let's just say not an asset. The mindset. The poor mindset buys liabilities and calls them assets. My house is my biggest asset. Your house is a place to live. If you live in it, it costs you money. Property tax, maintenance, utilities, repairs. It's a liability until the day you sell it. And if you sell it, where will you live? You didn't win, you just traded one liability for another. The rich mindset. They buy assets, real assets. Things that send them a check while they sleep. And they buy liabilities only when the assets pay for them. A rich person buys a rental property. The tenant pays the mortgage. After 10 years, the property is paid off. Now it sends them a check every month for the rest of their lives. Then they buy a car with that check. The poor person buys the car first, then works 30 years to pay it off. Same car, different order. Different trajectory. This is not about deprivation. I'm not saying never buy anything nice. I'm saying pay attention to what your money is doing. Every dollar is a soldier. Do you send your soldiers to war to die? Or do you send them to conquer territory and bring back resources? Poor mindset spends money and the money is gone. Rich mindset invests money and the money comes back with friends. That's the first shift. Shift number 2, income vs capital. 2 people walk into a coffee shop. One is a barista, makes $18 an hour. The other owns the coffee shop, makes $5,000 a month. Who is richer? You think the owner. Right? But what if the barista invests $50 a month for 30 years, and the owner spends everything on leased BMWs and vacations? 30 years later, the barista has $300,000 in the market. The owner has 3 years left on the BMW loan. This is the second difference. Poor mindset focuses on income. Rich mindset focuses on capital. Income is what you earn. Capital is what you keep. Income is active. You trade time for money. Capital is passive. Money works for money. The poor person says, I need a raise. The rich person says, I need another stream. The poor person says, If I made 2,000 more a month, I'd be set. The rich person says, if I owned 2 more rental doors, I'd be set. Same number, different source. And the source changes everything. Because income stops when you stop. Capital keeps going. You come stuck. You get laid off. Income stops. You retire. Income stops. But capital doesn't care if you're in bed with a fever. Capital does your boss is mad at you. Capital doesn't sit there. Growing. Multiplying. Sending checks. Poor mindset asks, how can I make more money? Rich mindset asks, how can I make money without working? That's a different question, and it leads to a different life. Let me tell you about Carlos and Jamal. Both are janitors at the same hospital. Same salary, same age, same job. Carlos gets paid on Friday. By Saturday, the money is gone. Rent, food, keywood, lottery tickets. Monday morning, he's broke again. He lives for Friday night. Jamal gets paid on Friday. He cashes his check. He pays his bills. He puts $50 in a separate envelope. Every week, $50. Not a lot. A dinner out. He takes that envelope to a brokerage once a month. Opens an account. Buys an index fund. Doesn't even understand what it is. Just knows this envelope becomes more envelopes later. 30 years pass. Carlos is still a janitor. His back hurts, his knees hurt, he can't retire. No savings. No pension. He works until he dies. Jamal retires at 62. His index fund is worth $400,000. He doesn't need it all. He withdraws 4% a year. $16,000. Plus Social Security. He doesn't get rich. But he gets free. Same salary. Different mindset. Carlos traded his time for money his whole life. Jamal traded his time for money for a few years. Then let his money trade for him. Poor mindset sees a paycheck. Rich mindset sees a seed. One eats the seed, starves tomorrow. One plants the seed, eats forever. That's the second shift. Shift number 3, security vests freedom. A man works at the same company for 35 years. He gets the gold watch. The retirement party. The cake. Everyone claps. Sits on the couch. Stares at the wall. His identity was his job. Now he has no identity. 3 months later, he's back. Part-time. Minimum wage. Not for the money. For the feeling of being needed. This is the third difference. Poor mindset craves security. Rich mindset craves freedom. Security is a cage with a comfortable pillow. Freedom is an open field with no fence. The poor person asks, is this job stable? The rich person asks, does this job make me free? The poor person asks, what if I fail? The rich person asks, what if I succeed? The poor person avoids. The rich person. There is difference. Avoiding risk means no to everything. Managing risk means saying yes, but with a parachute. Poor mindset sees a $10,000 investment. What if I lose it? Rich mindset sees the same investment. What if this replaces my salary in 5 years? Same number, different fear, different future. Let me tell you about 2 entrepreneurs. Both start food trucks, same city. Same menu, same loans, terrified of losing everything. He works 16 hours a day. He never hires anyone. He makes the food, takes the orders, cleans the grill. He's not a business owner. He's a self-employed slave. The business owns him. The other one? She hires a cook on day 1. She trains him, pays him well. She spends her time marketing, finding contracts, talking to investors. Year 2, she buys a second truck. Hires another cook. Year 3, she owns 4 trucks. She works 4 hours a day. Her business runs itself. Same start. Same industry. Different mindset. One traded time for money. The other built a machine that prints money. Poor mindset says, I can't afford to hire anyone. Rich mindset says, I can't afford not to. Poor mindset says, nobody will do it as well as me. Rich mindset says, if it depends entirely on me, I don't own a business. I own a job. And a job is the most expensive thing in the world, because it costs you your freedom. The wealthiest people in the world, they don't have jobs. They have systems. They own the ladder. They don't climb it. They don't trade time for tickets. They own the stadium. And they sell tickets to everyone else. That's the third shift. Shift number 4. Scarcity versus abundance. Two children grow up in the same neighborhood, same school, same teachers, same opportunities. One becomes an engineer, buys a house, retires at 60. One becomes a multimillionaire, sells a company, retires at 40. What was the difference? Not intelligence, not hard work. The difference was what they believed was possible. The first child looked at the world and saw limited seats. Good jobs are rare. Success is for lucky people. I'll take what I can get. The second child looked at the world and saw unlimited seats. Problems are opportunities. Someone will pay for a solution. Why not me? This is the fourth difference. Scarcity mindset versus abundance mindset. Scarcity says, there's not enough. Not enough money, not enough customers, not enough success to go around. If someone wins, I lose. Abundance says, there's plenty. More money is created every day. New problems need new solutions. We can all win. Scarcity hoards. Abundance invests. Scarcity fears competition. Abundance studies competition. Scarcity sees other people's success as a threat. Abundance sees other people's success as proof it's possible. Let me give you an example. Two real estate agents, same market, same listings, same commission. One sees a new agent move into town. Oh no. No, less business for me. He badmouths the new agent. He hoards leads. He works alone, stressed, exhausted. The other agent, she welcomes the new agent. She refers clients when she's too busy. She shares market knowledge. 3 years later, the first agent still works alone. Still stressed. Still exhausted. The second agent, she has a team of 12 agents. She doesn't sell houses anymore. Her team sells houses. She trains them, motivates them, pays them. She makes a percentage of everything they sell. She turned competition into collaboration. Scarcity kept one agent small. Abundance made the other agent rich. Same industry, same tools, different belief about how the world works. And the belief became reality. That's how mindset works. It's not positive thinking magic. It's not the secret, it's strategy. If you believe there's not enough, you will never build a team. If you never build a team, you will never scale. If you never scale, you will always trade time for money. And you will always be tired. If you believe there's plenty, you will share. If you share, people will trust you. If they trust you, they will work with you. If they work with you, you will grow, and growth creates wealth, not math. Scarcity is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Abundance is also a self-fulfilling prophecy. Choose your prophecy carefully. That's the fourth shift. Bonus shift, time. Poor mindset sells time. Rich mindset buys time. The poorest person in the world has the same 24 hours as the richest. The difference is what they do with them. A poor person says, I don't have time. A rich person says, I don't have time for that, so I'll pay someone else to do it. Poor mindset sees time as free. Rich mindset sees time as the only non-renewable resource. You can make more money, you can never make more time. So the wealthy buy it. They hire cleaners, drivers, assistants. Not because they're lazy. Because an hour of their time is worth more than the cost of hiring someone. If you make $50 an hour, and you spend 3 hours cleaning your house, you just spent $150 worth of your time to save $40 on a cleaner. That's not saving. That's losing. Poor mindset celebrates doing everything yourself. Look how capable I am. Rich mindset celebrates outsourcing everything except your genius. Look how much I can focus. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit every day. Not because he had no style, because he refused to spend mental energy on clothes. His brain was for Apple. Not for turtlenecks, Mark Zuckerberg. Gray t-shirt. Every day. Same reason, Warren Buffett lives in the same house he bought in 1958. Not because he can't afford better. Because he doesn't care about houses. He cares about compounding. Poor mindset spends time to save money. Rich mindset spends money to save time, and then uses that time to make more money, or to be with family, or to sleep, or to think. Thinking is the most valuable activity in the world. And you can't think when you're exhausted from cleaning a house you're too tired to enjoy. That's the bonus shift. The bridge. So where does that leave you? Maybe you're watching this and thinking, easy for you to say, Dollar Dave, you're a cartoon. You don't have rent. You don't have debt. You don't have kids who need new shoes every 3 months. You're right. I don't have kids. I don't have rent. But I have been melted down, reminted, counterfeited, forgotten in couch cushions, and thrown into fountains by tourists. I've seen empires rise and fall. I've been worth a day's labor and I've been worth nothing when the economy collapsed. I've survived. And I've learned the difference between where you are and where you want to be. It's not one big thing. It's 100 small things. Repeated every day. For years. Nobody wakes up rich. They wake up, make a decision, repeat it, adjust it, protect it, and let time do the heavy lifting. You don't need to be a genius. You need to be consistent. You don't need to inherit millions. You need to inherit good habits. And bad habits, you can disinherit them. Right now. The 4 questions. Before we end, I want to give you 4 questions. Write them down. Save them. Ask yourself every Sunday night. Question 1. Did I buy an asset or a liability this week? Question 2. Did I make money work for me? Or did I work for money? Question 3. Did I trade time for money? Or did I build something that can outlive me? Question 4. Did I act from fear or from possibility? These 4 questions will change your life. Not because the answers are magic, because the questions force you to pause, and in the pause, you choose. Most people never pause. They wake up, rush, spend, sleep, repeat. 40 years later, they pause, and everything is already decided. Don't let that be you. Pause now. Choose now. Final lesson. There is a story about 2 woodcutters. Both are strong. Both have sharp axes. Both work from sunrise to sunset. The first woodcutter never stops. Swing, chop, stack. Swing, chop, stack. Sweat pouring, muscles burning. He looks at the second woodcutter and sees him sitting on a stump. Resting. Doing nothing. Lazy, he thinks. At the end of the day, the first woodcutter has 100 logs. The second woodcutter has 150. How? You sat down. I doubt. The second woodcutter looks at her and says, I sat down to sharpen my axe. Most people are the first woodcutter. They work harder, longer, faster. Their axe is dull, and they're too busy working to notice. This video is sharpening stone. The ideas are simple. Assets over liabilities, capital over income, freedom over security, abundance over scarcity, time over money. You already know this. You've heard it before. Hearing and doing are different planets. My job is not to give you new information. My job is to make the old information feel urgent because the clock is ticking. Not against you, for you, but only if you start. Annie started at 25. Ben started at 35. Ben worked 3 times longer and still lost. That's not a warning about starting late. That's a celebration of starting early. You are watching this at exactly the right moment. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. What you do in the next 24 hours matters more than what you do in the next 20 years. Because the next 20 years are just 24-hour blocks, stacked. Build today. Build small. Build badly if you have to. But build. I'm Dollar Dave. I've been a coin, a collector's item, a tip jar donation, and a museum exhibit. But my favorite job? Standing here. Talking to you. Because I've seen what happens next for the people who get it. And for the people who don't. The gap starts small. Then it becomes a canyon. Then it becomes different worlds. Same planet, different atmospheres. You decide which one you breathe. This channel is not about getting rich. It's about becoming the kind of person who can get rich and stay rich. Not just with money, with time. With peace, with options. That's the real wealth. Everything else is just numbers in an app. So here is your homework. 1. Cancel one subscription you don't use. Move the money you save into a separate account. Name that account Future You. 4. Every time you want to buy something stupid, look at that account name. Future You is counting on today you. Don't let Future You down. I'll be back next week with another lesson. Until then, keep your edges sharp, keep your axe sharper, and remember, $1 saved is a soldier. A dollar invested is a general. A dollar spent on nonsense, that's a deserter. Stop feeding the deserters. Start building your army. Your future self is waiting, and they're cheering for you. Class dismissed.